The heart of Old Town Albuquerque is the Central Plaza, with over 100 quaint shops. Old Town offers a mix of old and new, from Civil War cannons to the Church of San Felipe de Neri. Nearby, La Hacienda restaurant preserves an old brick home built in 1898. This was once the Blueher House, one of unique houses that lined the plaza. Although it is hidden behind modern renovations, the house is still there. The Blueher House, once a two-story Queen Anne brick mansion, was one of 4 grand homes on the plaza before the First World War. It had pine woodwork, stained to look like oak, a stunning staircase, etched glass doors, stenciled room trim, and a servant's staircase in the rear. During the 1950s Puebloization, the Blueher House was converted to a restaurant. The roof, porches and wings were removed, adobe walls were added and the brick was stuccoed over. Herman and Sophie Blueher arrived in Albuquerque in 1882 and constructed their house. The architectural style was not as popular on the East Coast, but arrived with the railroad. He worked for a local produce farmer and eventually started his own business, building a considerable fortune by 1898. Blueher's market garden spanned over 20 acres and featured an unusual irrigation pond stocked with fish at the northwest edge of what is now Teaguex Park. Folklore says residents sometimes ice skated on it during winter. Blueher also introduced draft horses to Albuquerque as the first farm equipment dealer and experimented with tobacco cultivation in the Rio Grande Valley. Later, Dr. Nolting's family lived in the house until it was remodeled into the Hacienda dining rooms by Leon Watson, who added a new layout before 1953. The haunting at the restaurant began after an addition to the restaurant was installed. Disembodied voices are often heard near the antique staircase in the old mansion. One evening, the manager and 2 customers heard laughter from the sealed-off rooms on the second floor. The manager searched, but found no one there. When he arrived back on the landing of the second floor, he discovered that all of the lights were out and the room was completely empty. After his search, he remained unsure of the laughter's source, so he asked earlier customers, who confirmed it was coming from the second floor. Late one night, after closing, a former manager and employee relaxed in the break room on the second floor when they heard unusual sounds from the stairway. After listening for a moment, they went to investigate and distinctly heard piano music and muffled conversations. Knowing they were alone in the building, they cautiously descended the stairs to uncover who or what was inside. It was eerily quiet. They went back upstairs and once again heard the piano playing and distant conversation. They quickly ran back down, but found the room empty. Having enough of the strange voices, they gathered their things and left for the night, leaving the building to the ghosts. Maria, another waitress who has been with the restaurant for 3 years, has experienced a multitude of strange occurrences. She's seen ashtrays flipped over, doors opening on their own, and heard music playing when there was no one around. Some of her co-workers have also reported hearing their names being called when they were alone, and 2 employees have even seen the ghostly figure of a woman. One incident even caused a co-worker to flee in fear after feeling heavy footsteps running towards her. Maria herself was skeptical until she experienced it firsthand. The oldest ghost story at La Hacienda restaurant was recorded by the WPA during interviews in Old Town. It comes from a woman named Frances, and here is her account.
It happened in 1938, on a Tuesday in February at about 6 in the morning. I had just gotten to work at the restaurant, and I was about to put on a pot of coffee. When you come through the main door, it's a straight shot, more or less, to the coffee pot and about 5 feet to the table where we sit and have our coffee before starting work. The other waitress had not gotten to work yet, so I was alone in the building except for the cook. As I started toward the coffee pot, I saw a cup on the table. I walked up to it and noticed that the cup contained coffee probably left there from the previous night. I was going to dump it out, but when I touched the coffee with my finger, to my surprise, it was hot. Thinking it was just a coincidence, I reached to pick up the cup, and when I touched it, the outside of the cup was ice cold. At that time, Luis, the cook, entered the building, so leaving the cup on the table, I went over to the door and called to him, "Come over here and see this." However, when we reached the table where the cup had been, it was gone. Stranger still, Luis insisted that he did not have any coffee that morning, and I was making the first pot of the day. I haven't had any more experiences like this, and I hope I never do.
Other reports describe a woman in a flowing old-fashioned dress who could walk through walls, believed to be Sophie Blueher. Her presence invoked both peace and sadness. Workmen also noted a man in period attire at the top of the main staircase, and sounds of children crying were occasionally heard from the second floor. An employee in the gift shop often heard footsteps and furniture scraping above her, initially assuming someone lived there. Months after leaving, she discovered the second floor was unoccupied. In the 1960s, a carpenter named Ruben experienced strange occurrences while working alone on the third floor of the haunted building. His tools would mysteriously move several feet away, and he would smell perfume or flowers in their new location. He eventually learned to follow his nose to find them. The Blueher House, once a grand Queen Anne mansion, has transformed over the years into a restaurant steeped in history and mystery. From its origins as the home of Herman and Sophie Blueher to its current incarnation as La Hacienda, the building has witnessed over a century of change. Yet it seems some former residents and visitors have never truly left. The numerous ghostly encounters reported by staff and patrons alike paint a picture of a place where the past and present intertwine. From disembodied laughter and phantom piano music to the apparition of Sophie Blueher herself, the restaurant appears to be a hub of paranormal activity. These unexplained phenomena serve as a reminder of the rich history that permeates the walls of this old town landmark. Don't let this ghostly tale slip away into the ether. If you enjoyed this spine-tingling story of La Hacienda and its supernatural residents, be sure to subscribe for more haunting narratives. By following our channel, you'll gain access to a treasure trove of paranormal encounters, historical hauntings, and unexplained phenomena. Hit that subscribe button now to ensure you never miss a ghostly tale. After all, you never know when the next story might hit close to home. Stay tuned, stay spooked, and remember, the spirits are always watching.